I hope everyone's week treated them well, and I hope that you guys are getting ready to take some time for yourself this weekend. Or if you've been craving some company, some socialization, just give your body, give your soul, give your heart what it needs this weekend, whether that be a reset, whether that be time with friends, journaling, meditating, exercising. If you want to exercise, we have our Goddess Glow Up call in the morning, 7 a.m., bright and early, okay? It's free to join tomorrow. And I just want to have fun with you ladies and just work out and just be a part of this community with you guys. And we're going to be dropping into our bodies, giving you guys some journal prompts, some self-reflecting prompts at the end after we get a sweat in and just getting our groove on. But anyways, I don't know who needs to hear this. I'm going to make a short, but I don't know who needs to hear this. I didn't really want to make this video because I don't really like talking about this, but God will not let it go. I keep getting these nudges, like make this video, and I'm like, no, I don't want to make this video. But we're going to talk about it because somebody needs to hear it, and if you're here, okay. So we're going to talk about prioritizing not just your peace, but your mental well-being, your future, and if you have kids, the mental well-being and future of your kids. Again, I don't know who needs to hear this, but you need to get out of that house. You need to get out of that house. I can't even put it any other way, but you need to leave. And or do some serious reflecting and have a serious conversation. Because here, let's start jumping and talking. Because it took me way longer than it should have. I don't like when it gets dark like that. Hold on. No, we don't want the retouch. We want the light. Anyways, sorry if it gets dark, but I was just saying, I don't know who needs to hear this, but again, God will not let me let it go, so I have to talk about it. You need to get out of the house, you need to get out of that situation, and or you need to do some serious reflecting, have a serious conversation. Something needs to change, because when you're in a toxic situation and you start to lose yourself in the process, like, it took me way longer than it should have to leave the situation I was in. And the reason that it took me so long was not because I didn't want to leave. I was so lost in myself trying to please this other person and just like be a yes man and just trying to quote unquote save the relationship with all these different things. And it's like, it took me losing me. And like finding myself again has been the most amazing journey. And it's like, I'm still now just like rebranding and recreating myself again 3 years later, you know, but leaving that situation, even though it took me so long, was the best decision I have ever made in my entire life. And I will stand on that till the day I die. Best, you know, and it's like, again, to go back to what I was saying, it took me so long to leave that situation, not because I didn't want to leave, not because I knew that that was the right thing to do. No, it took me so long because I was worried and I knew that it was going to break this person. Even though they treated me like shit, it was still going to break them and hurt them. And I know that there was no going back if I did this. If I left, like actually like moved out and left, there was no going back. And I knew that it was going to break this person. And I cared so much more about their well-being than about my well-being that I didn't care. I stayed and I stayed and I stayed and I continued to lose myself deeper and deeper and deeper. And even when I did decide to leave, it wasn't because of me. I will say that I didn't leave because of my well-being. I left because I caught myself realizing that I was taking all this out, or not all of it, but I was taking a lot of this sadness, this frustration, this anger, like this betrayal, all these different emotions that I was feeling that I didn't know how to process, and I didn't know how to regulate. I just didn't know. I was lost. But I realized that, like, I caught myself not being able to be a good mother anymore. But luckily my daughter was super young when all this was happening. Like, she was still only like less than or around a year old. So like she doesn't really remember. But I realized that I could not be a good mother in that situation anymore. Like, I couldn't stay in that house and still be a good mom. And I realized that that was the most unfair thing ever, and I couldn't do that to her anymore. So I left. And I don't know who out there needs to hear this, but you having kids with somebody is not, I repeat, is not a reason to stay with them if you're being treated like absolute, okay? That is the worst reason, actually, to stay with somebody, just because you have kids together. No, because your kids are gonna grow up seeing this toxic, quote unquote, love that's not really love, and they're gonna see this anger, this animosity. They're gonna see the fights. Like, this person would yell at me in front of my daughter, like get super up in my face, like in front of her, you know? And also just knowing that, like, I don't want anybody around me, especially if it's the man in my life, to treat me any other way than I would want my daughter to be treated. Point blank, period. So any moms out there that are in a difficult, toxic situation, I get it. Trust me, I literally had nowhere else to go. But God, if there's a will, there's a fucking way, okay? I will just say it like that. I don't want to go too deep into it, but somebody that knew me through this person's, like, somebody that knew me, this girl, that we're now friends. We weren't friends before, but her father of her child knew the father of my child. And I'm still getting better at this, but asking for help is so hard. It does not come naturally to me. It feels very uncomfortable in my body. Now it's much better. Like, I'm very much better at asking for help and being open about, like, hey, like, this is what's going on and this is what I need, or this is how you can help or not help. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, but I'm a lot better at voicing myself and my needs now and asking for help and feeling okay about asking for help. Like, it's okay to ask for help. Like, people would tell me that all the time, but I like, yeah, okay, but it still didn't, even if I did ask for help, it didn't feel good to ask for help. But now it's like, okay, I don't feel that, like, as much, you know? Still working on it, got a lot of inner work to do still, but I'm able to ask for help now. I feel like because I was honestly, like, forced to use the help that was offered to me. Like, this girl didn't know me really like that. We may have saw each other a couple times in person, and I honestly didn't really care about telling her my situation because I didn't really know her. And I was like, well, what the fuck do I have to lose? Like, whatever. So I told her kind of like what was going on, and she just so happened to have an extra room, and she's like, honestly, like, I don't usually do this, but like, you and your daughter can come stay with me until you figure it out, right? So I got the fuck up out of there, and ever since then, life has, like, obviously it gets worse before it gets better. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's always going to get worse before it gets better. But I just wanted to, whoever is out there and needed to hear, like, do everything humanly possible to figure out a way. There is a way. There is a way. I tell you, there is a way. Figure out a way to get out of that situation, not just for you, but for your babies. Because if you stay there, it's going to impact them worse than, quote unquote, having a broken home. There's nothing about having two different homes that's broken. It's like, it's all about your perspective. It's all about how you see it. I see more of a broken home where the parents are together and it's super toxic, rather than like them separating and both becoming better people at the end of it. Like, you know what I mean? For their child, like, you know? So it's like, don't just use your kid as a, oh, well, we have a kid together, so we should try to work things out. Like, no, if this person is showing you over and over and over and over again that they're not going to be able to show up in the way you need, and they're not going to be able to love you, and they're not going to be able to be that person that you want to, your daughter or son to, like, see treating you, then that's all there is to it. Like, I left because I could not be a good mother anymore in that situation, and that was not fair. So, like, I'm so glad that I had one or two people that were pushing me to do this. Like, Karina, like, I don't know how, but you need to do this. Like, you need to do this. You need to do this. And I'm so grateful to the people that allowed that to happen. Well, like, I did it, but like, that pushed me to the point to where I was confident enough to be like, okay, God, like, I don't know what's going to happen on the other side of this, but I trust that it's going to be better. Oh, now I really got to go get a new one. I trust that it's going to be better than what's in front of me now. And, like, I went through, like, all the things. I had multiple dogs with this person, and I had to make the conscious decision that, like, I couldn't take them with me. Just how I had to make the conscious decision, which was the saddest thing ever. When I chose to leave, when I was forced to go into Sacramento, I ran away after a year of being there, and I came back home. And I had to leave my little brothers, and that was just, like, the saddest thing I ever did, including having to leave my animals. If you have animals, you know, like, it's heartbreaking, especially when that person does not treat animals well. And it's just, like, so sad. But I'd done a lot of praying about it, like, at the time, and I just trusted, like, everything's gonna work out, it's okay. And I can confidently say that, like, everybody in this situation came out better from me making that decision. And I just wanted to, I don't like really talking about this, but I just kept getting this nudge to, like, talk about this. I was like, I don't want to. But whoever is out there that needs and knows they need to leave that situation, I encourage you and I push you, and I'm here for you to find a way. Just meet new people, talk to whoever you can, go to resources, use the resources. There's more resources than we even know about. Do whatever in your power, because don't worry about the, oh, well, what's gonna happen if this, oh, well, no. Just get the fuck out and the rest will fall into place. God got you. The universe got you. Everything is going to work out, but nothing is going to work out if you stay, because it's only going to just bring you more and more of the same energy, and we don't want that. So, sorry, this was like a kind of like a darker situation topic, but like, I just kept getting the urge to talk about it, and I just don't want to see any of you ladies get hurt even more. And it sucks when you're in like a narcissistic, just toxic, just super, all of the things. It sucks. And I can tell you right now, it's gonna suck even more because you're gonna have to figure a lot of shit out. But it's gonna be freaking better, okay? It's gonna get better, I promise. I promise. Even me, like, my life's not perfect right now. There's a lot of shit going on, but it's all about your perspective. It's all about how you want to see things. There's always more perspectives than just one. So it's like, you have the power to choose how you show up and go about life regardless of your external circumstances. And that's the most important thing. Like, we have to stay strong mentally. That's what was keeping me held back, was that, like, I was so broken down mentally that I couldn't even, like, I was getting literally made fun of for writing out affirmations. Like, by the person I was with, mind you, not just people, like, you know. So it's like, dude, just leave, figure it out, and the rest will follow, like, literally. But I love you guys. Stay strong, stay positive. Stay positive. No, like, seriously. Just stay optimistic, but move with freaking, what's the word? Like, move with resilience. Like, nothing at this point, if you're at a low point, guess what? The only way you can go now is up. So dig yourself out of that freaking hole, and you will come out better on top of this. I promise you, if you take that first step and just jump into the freaking void of the unknown, that is where you are going to come out. Your peace is on the other side of that. And I promise you, it's going to be worth it. It's going to be hard. I'm not saying it's not going to be, it's not saying it's going to be easy. It's going to be hard. But you have to do this. Like, whether it's when it's a family situation, it's a little bit trickier if you're like a minor or something like that. But, which I would suggest reaching out to, like, actual resources from the, you know what I'm talking about, like, people. But, as far as like adults, like, just go, doesn't matter. You don't have to have a plan, but just take the first step into the void, into the unknown, and I promise you it will be worth it. I love you so much. Thank you guys for showing up. I am in San Diego. Do you know Galatasaray? No, but who is that and what do they do? Anyways, I love you guys. Have a beautiful weekend. Oh, if you guys want to be a part of the Goddess Glow Up tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., let me know. I will send you the link. There is a link. You can enter your email, and I'll send you the email with the link tomorrow, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We are getting up bright and early to see who is really about it, who's trying to lock in, who's trying to get in shape, who's trying to become the best, hottest version of themselves by 2026. From now till then, first live training is on Wednesday, tomorrow morning. So I love you guys. I will see you there. And yeah, thank you so much for being a part of this family. I love you. Mwah.